Welcome to the Friday before Christmas live stream. Manage Roy, Trug, and Suzanne Fleming from Florida. Good to see you again. Suzanne has been around for a long time on a lot of these channels. But let's talk about it. It is no secret the majority of women disrespect men. Men must flex their masculinity is the topic today. Harshit from India. Good to see you. Now, let's go back. 98% of women are not recommended in Rad's world. There is a 1 to 2% you must vet. You must continue with the experience of no marriage, no cohabitation, no kids, no taking care of anyone financially, mentally, emotionally, and so forth. With that being said, I do understand that there is a disrespect spectrum even between men and women. But where did it start? How did it start? Why is it so apparent today? You can go to a restaurant, you can go to a mall, and you can watch women literally disrespecting their men. Could be husbands, could be fiancés. Now, do you think that women have got to a point where they've just, the pressure cooker has gone off and they just can't stand this guy? He's been a jerk. He's been, abusive and controlling the whole time. Or did somebody leave the bounds of the boundaries and so forth? So it all goes back to men respect women when women are feminine, classy, not mouthy, in their element, co-piloting. We love that about women, that take care of themselves, that aren't looking to be masculine, that aren't looking to be the boss babe. We respect women that own their femininity. That is extremely highly attractive. We respect women that are not mouthy. Case in point, there is a lot of women in all colors, creeds, and races that love to shame men. It's transparent, even on dating apps. If you look at dating apps, if you've played that game or whatever, it's how to put the man down. And that has destroyed humanity. Have we destroyed women? Have men just helped destroy women in relationships? Absolutely. We've allowed them to continue. We've allowed the behavior. Well, what do? We just shut up. We don't want to speak up. We don't want to say no. We don't want to rock the boat. And so we've caused a lot of these issues. Men are also part of this problem. Thanks, Harshit. Good to have you. I'm going to continue to re-upload videos as we go. Timmy Kramer, the Forever Bachelor. I enjoy women, but never take them serious. Good for you. Jason Reed from Colorado. You could pay me enough to work in an office full of women. That's challenging. I've had a couple lady bosses. I had one lady boss was pretty good. What is disrespect, though? Women might not know or learn. Great, WHO. Good to have you. I think that today's women are not taught to respect their partners or the opposite sex. I truly believe that these reality TV shows, social media, TikTok, the transparency of shaming culture has literally destroyed anything possible. People say, oh, the social media has destroyed relationships. I would agree with that. Dating apps have destroyed it. Divorce has destroyed it. Nobody wants to get married, get engaged, get committed because of potential issues in the court. But at the end of the day, the foundation is a disrespect between the sexes. For my parents have been married 55 years this year. Now, my dad's a strong man. My mother is college educated. She's from the East Coast area, and my dad's from the West Coast. There was a respect for my mother that my dad had. In fact, when we were growing up, I'm the second of 6 kids. My mom and dad were always on the same page. Always on the same page. If I wanted to have a sleepover, back then sleepovers were people did it. So we'd have a sleepover, watch Rambo, the latest Rambo, 1984, what have you. My mom would say, go ask your dad. If your dad says yes, great. Same thing with my dad. Hey, Dad, I want to go skateboard this ramp. If your mom says yes, I'm good with it. They were always on the same page. Now let's fast forward when I was raising kids. I didn't have that respect from the partner, the mother of my kids. It was, if I said no, she fought it. If she said no, I would typically side with her, but she would never side with me. So that should tell you where the respect has literally degraded itself over the last 40 years. I would say in the 60s is when it started, maybe the late 50s. There are some movies you can watch. I would suggest you watch Rebel Without a Cause with James Dean. In that show, the father is a total wet noodle, a beta male whose wife runs all over him. That came out in 1954. So that's probably the beginning. It might have started before that as technology increased. Remember, when technology increased, microwaves, refrigerators, electricity, TV dinners, that is when the woman's role began to change and get easier. Before that, they had to cook the food. They had to make the fire. They had to cook the food over the fire. They had to wash their clothes by hand. There was no time to be disrespectful. The man was plowing the fields, working his ass off. The woman was working her ass off in the home to take care of kids and so forth. There was no time to be disrespectful. In fact, at the end of the day, they probably went to bed so doggone exhausted, and I think they built a respect for one another based on different roles. WHO, fathers usually taught daughter what not to do. Correct. Well said, brother. I'll be golfing Christmas morning with 7 other divorced men. Timmy Kramer hitting the links on Christmas Day with Santa Claus. Lisa Smith back in the house. Good to see Lisa and Suzanne. They are OGs in this space. I allow ladies that respect this message, respect men, and respect how they want to raise their boys to be masculine men that don't put up with the 304 behavior. I got to get my bag regardless. There you go. Wolf is in the house. Good to see you. Eddie, my ex-wife, was never on my page. And I just think that's the society. My mother was extremely stood behind. I got grounded. My mom was right behind my dad. I mean, they were a team. They raised their kids as children, not as friends. And I think that is one of the biggest issues. D Xenix 1, good to see you. Tell me where you are from. The more money she makes, the more she hates the average man. Correct. And that's a cycle. That's a whole different other podcast, because that's putting the woman as a provider and a protector. That's not their biological or psychological role in the end. It's fine making money, but if they make the majority of the money, I've got friends where the wife makes all the money, and there is a very different dynamic between both of them. I'm from the old school. I believe that a man should take care of his family and his kids. I believe he should provide all the money and the income possible, and he should get to that point after he's thought about it. But that was 28, 30 years ago. I don't believe that you should get married, have kids, cohabitate, or any of that stuff. It's just too risky. Got to have it my way, no matter what he says, even if it's terrible for the family. Correct. Women are actually taught today that it's a good thing to be disrespectful for men. Well said, Jason. Couldn't agree more. Peter's back from the UK. There have to be consequences to female bad behavior. It all starts when the man is simping and they lose respect for him. That's the deal. That's why we say flex your masculinity, but the majority of men won't. What did Rad go through that until around the tail end, the last 5 years? Yeah, I shut my mouth most of the time because I didn't want contention. I didn't want conflict. And it was just easier to shut my mouth up, and I was slowly dying. Char's in the house. Good to see you, brother. Ever watch a horror movie and they're following a woman who makes terrible decisions, getting people deleted but wouldn't take them in? Yep. That's happening every day, WHO. Oh, Patriots won. All right, brother. Good to see you. Your name threw me off. Mouth Agape is back. Mouth Agape knows a thing or two. Good to have you, brother, riding his motorcycle. You have to be willing to walk away, and most men aren't. I didn't want to walk away because I'd built something. However, the marriage was already dead. I got a great gift getting divorced. However, my biggest failure is the fact that my kids were raised in 2 different households. That is the worst part of my life. That is if I could change anything. But it is what it is. We move forward. My mom got sucked into the men bad feminist crap in the 60s, treated my father poorly, and saw our kids as what trapped her into that life. Interesting, Trug. My ex-wife said the same thing. I don't know who I am anymore. I've been raising kids and having babies. I need to find myself. Eat, pray, love for 300 Trebek. Men's Daily is back. Good morning, Room and Rebel. I know you were saying something about your video disappearing, but it's an old video. It's an old throwback. But appreciate that, brother. Appreciate you being here. Check out his channel. He's got some good stuff. Megatron is back. Good to see another wrench. Women reflect our shit culture. We celebrate assholes and crooks, gangsters, easy money. Hey, remember who's remembered in this world, Wolf? Jesse James, Pretty Boy Floyd, Al Capone, the bad boys. Not Joe the accountant, not Joe the plumber. It's the bad boys. Isn't that interesting? Women love bad boys, and so does society. They love. There are statues with Butch Cassidy. He robbed trains and killed people. Can you imagine your married wife at the bar doing girls' night out? I know what happens at that bar. You sure do, brother. Sigma's back. Good to see you. Bookshelf Learn. Hey, Rad. Do you have any pets now? I do not have pets. I just don't have time for that. But, some people have pets. Good for you. I love my freedom. I think pets at this stage in my life take too much time. Christmas is blue pill. Patriots won. Well, especially all of the commercialization of it, buying women, all this crap. But she wouldn't leave, but still blame the kids for being trapped. That would mean she'd have to support herself and work. Mm-hmm. Jerome Markella is back. They shame and disrespect men because they know those food shelves will be filled, their toilet will be fixed, and their gynocentric court will always believe them without any evidence. Good to see you, brother. Jerome Markell from Brooklyn. Men can still stand up strong to women without abuse or disrespect, but if you tolerate any disrespect, you are done. 100%. Walk away and say no. I mean, literally, you're the best word that a man can use in any relationship. Could be a work relationship with a coworker that's a woman. Could be your neighbor. Could be your sister. Could be your daughter. Could be you have some sort of fling. It's no. A woman respects a man that stands by his principles, even in these areas. They might not like it. They might not like it. They might kick and scream. But when a man says no, that means it, and he's able to walk away, her respect meter goes through the roof. Somebody put her in her place. Somebody was balls enough to not let her walk all over. Now, let's go to this situation. I have a very, very disrespectful firstborn that happens to be female. Extremely disrespectful. Said things in front of my other kids when we were still living in the household when she was 15. Told her father to F off. I said, that is disrespectful. You do not say that to your father. What did her mother do? Jumped in front of her, defended her, did not side with me. So it starts in the home, especially with daughters. Rad has a daughter. Well, a biological female that happens to be my firstborn. I don't know what you call it, a daughter. I haven't had a daughter for 10 years, if not more. She's been raised by her mother, and she is the exact type of person. I'm not afraid to talk about this either because it's extremely toxic. And you walk away. If you have kids that are extremely toxic, you walk away. Now, people say, well, they'll come back. Well, good, whatever. But you know what? When you raise them to a point and they disrespect you and they cause commotion, chaos, and contention, you walk the hell away, regardless if they're blood related. Wolf, I don't know yet. Probably just I'm going to watch, as I watch every year. It's a tradition that my father instilled in me. It's a Wonderful Life with Jimmy. Gosh damn it. Jimmy Stewart. Love that show. 45 minutes lifting heavy, 3x3. Good for you. Shadow boxing. Good for you. Get in the gym, Patriots. Felt more like a father than a husband. Yeah. Christmas is a pagan holiday where the Bible says it's December 25th. It's all about spending money. You got it. Jesus was born in April. Where did it come December 25th? Radical Rafter is back. Good to see you. This is a man's world, but it wouldn't be nothing without peace, quiet, and freedom. Well said, Bookshelf. Christmas makes kids blue pill. Well, I wanted one year. I remember I wanted to make a Christmas that was like homemade gifts. Could be a letter. If my kid, the greatest Christmas gift now would be just my boys spending time with me. That's it. I don't need anything. Just to be around them, just to see how they are. The interaction. No free attention, no tolerating disrespect, no giving away your power for anything which isn't guaranteed. Well said, Peter from the UK. Good to see you in the chat. You really can't trust women in the holidays. That's a lethal combination. Well, it's commercialization, and women spend 90% of all the money in the world. It's just, they've done statistics on that. Sadly, older daughters can be equally disrespectful. Well said. And I'm living proof of that. Give kids LOG for Christmas, where kids play with a log. If Phil cold, place it in a wood stove. That's not too shabby. 1970, Scrooge, Albert Finney, my favorite Christmas movie. Attaboy. I also like some of the new ones, Four Christmases with Vince Vaughn. That was funny. Obviously, Christmas Vacation with Chevy Chase is always a classic. And A Christmas Story with Peter Billingsley is always good. John Boston's in the house. Good to see the legendary John Boston. He knows a thing or two about these ladies. You end up raising a wife, child being married to them. Correct. Well said. 230 pounds in weigh-in. Dude is ripped. It takes a lot of work to get ripped and to lift that weight, to be literally disciplined. You know what? At the end of the day, it comes down to discipline. And it comes and discipline is also part of this whole topic today. You got to be disciplined to say no. You got to be disciplined to walk away. But most men won't, because we are programmed to just happy wife, happy life. We are programmed to, I don't want to rock the boat. You know, I'll go to my man cave, you know. So that's the reality. John says the ultimate disrespect is suing a man and disrespecting him in divorce court for 2 years. That's how it ends for half of us, if not more. John, well said, brother. Ren and Stimpy, Christmas cartoons and products. Attaboy. Lisa, as the firstborn and only girl, if I had trash talked my father, I would have wound up working on a farm for the rest of my life and not lived in the burbs with my mom. Well, you had a strong dad, but you also respected him. We come from a different world, Lisa, where my sisters never disrespected me. My dad kicked our ass mentally. And if I remember, he had a spanking paddle, he had a belt. We respected that. You didn't mess around. I remember my brother would disrespect my dad. He got his AK'd. He got his ass kicked. I was like, I'm not getting in that fight. And he finally learned not to mess with my dad. And my mother stood by my father, which is a complete rarity, which sounds like that's how Lisa's, that's how a lot of guys have been in this chat. Time for a plan of escape, says Mega. Girls are honorary members of the marriage club and just as self-entitled. Now, daughter is disrespectful. I have no choice but to treat the same as my ex-wife. And that's where I'm at, Peter, as you know. Was it a bus stop, a single mother and her daughter? Little girl was running across the ice, and I told her, be careful, you'll fall. Single mother cursed me out. And bam, the girl. Yep. No surprise, Jerron. Yeah, she broke her nose. Yeah, they just don't listen. A man mansplaining something could literally save a woman's life. Again, the most powerful thing you can do as a man is to say no and walk away. Do not participate. You have a choice to do that as a man. I wish more men understood that it's actually would help the situation. It's not going to hurt it. Most men think if they say no, they're going to get browbeaten and beaten down and shamed and belittled. If you mean it and you walk the walk, you're going to be fine. Should have laughed when she fell and painted. And what kind of guy wants to be around someone that trash talks him all day, belittles him, disrespects him? That's not a life. Corporal punishment was a big thing in our house growing up. My dad used his old frat paddle on our butts many times. And I can relate, Lisa. I got to feel sorry for the trapped married men who will be disrespected at Christmas. Oh, yeah. I remember those Christmas mornings. It always had to go, which is fine. I was tired. You're waking up at 6 a.m. Kids are all excited. You figure it out. You get the thing going. I was half asleep. Mal says his parents got divorced in 74. Man, they were the early ones. My dad was a scary, intense, tough guy. My mom complimented him being more laid back. We miss those fathers today. Most fathers today can't discipline their kids. The courts will be after them. The child services will be on their tail. You spank a kid, you're going to a cold cement metal place. to be reprogrammed. Only get kids if you're a millionaire. Not recommend get kids if you're broke. Look at the AI taking jobs. Well said, patriots. Like Ronaldo from Brazil. We got paddled in high school, 83 graduate, my highest degree and best. My dad had a belt. He'd take that belt off, and my mom would say they've been disrespectful. My dad would take the belt off. He didn't have to talk to us. He just listened to my mom. That is true respect. I refuse to be her slave or anybody's slave. Good for you. Blood all over the snow and ice. And mother just said, "You're not here. You're not the effing father. Shut your mouth." And she looked at me for help. You know what? Give her the medicine that she needs. Good for you, brother. Keep your choices open, gentlemen. Keep no as a real threat option. And no is a great word. And remember what no means and memorize it, because you can use it with men, with bosses, with neighbors, with coworkers, with people in the streets. That is your superpower. When you believe that what they want you to do is not on your agenda, you say no. And if they don't like it, you walk. If you're staying in your parents' home and you don't want to stay there, you're on right track. Disrespect, no, not comfortable to stay. Well said. See you later, Mega. Well said, Manoj Roy from Mumbai, India. Men get gifts to fix the house and make life better for her. He is supposed to get her the fancy shite. Oh, yeah, I remember getting presents one year for her, and she just didn't like them. They weren't the right colors. They weren't cool, blah, blah, blah. Mom's ace card, wait until your father gets home. Ooh, I remember that, Lisa. Disrespect is a shit test. Got to step up and make consequences for her or you're done. Not violence. Walk away smiling. Always keep her aware you have options. Absolutely. You don't have to raise your voice. You don't have to be intimidating. You don't have to get all flustered. Men need to stay away from their emotional state and logistically and logically look at the situation. Yes, we all have emotions. We're all human, but we have to learn and discipline ourselves to say no stoically and succinctly. My ex told me the kids were being bad, so I would punish them. It was BS to get them to hate me. Kids respect when they're off course and their father puts them in their place. They respect it. I mean, I don't hate my dad. My dad was a tough mother effer. I respect him even more now. We don't need to give our kids helmets in life. Like women, a lot of mothers and women, 98%, especially wives, want to give their kids helmets in everything. They want helmets in sports and helmets in school and helmets at home and helmets at birthday parties so they don't get hurt and they're coddled and they're helicoptered. My mother would just snap off a tree switch and let the butt whoopings begin. And you respect your mother today. Ishi is back from California. Happy holidays to you. I value your message and works. Appreciate you being here. Ishi knows a thing or two, working with all those women. The simplest things are the hardest to do. Females live in chaos. They want you to react. They sure do. And what's happened in the last 35, 40 years? Men react. Why? No father figure in the home to show a boy how to be a man. Raised by a woman. It's not good for women to raise boys. It's not good. Not going to end well. The prison statistics show it. The delinquency, the bad grades, the drug abuse, the unwanted pregnancy, all show the absence of a father, a strong father, a disciplinarian father, a rotund father to make those kids better than he is. Please make a video on men need to stay away from emotional state. I should look into that. Scotty Side is back. Happy birthday to Scotty. Be unapologetically masculine. Scotty is staying in paradise. Check out his video today. A very good message going into the Christmas season. Good to see you, brother. Very important quote that needs a separate video. We'll work on that. Rad, these moms don't even want a temperature probe touching their kids. It's interesting, guys. It's interesting, the dynamics. The best education I ever received came from getting my rear end belted. There were times when that was the only way to break through my attitude. I turned out great. Yeah, and I got grounded. My parents took away my skateboard, everything, my keys. They didn't give it back. And most marriages today, they ground the person. You're grounded for a week, and then an hour later, the mom, and sometimes the dad will say, "Yeah, I'll go. I feel bad. Here's your toys back. Just don't hit your brother again." Stop arguing with the ladies, especially black guys. Stop giving her ammunition. I've seen, Jerome Markel, I have seen a lot of videos where a lot of these larger black women and their men, and the men are the black husbands or boyfriends are recording, and these women are beating the shit out of them. Now, I'm sure it doesn't matter. I've seen a couple white gals go nuts, see a couple Latinas, but there's a lot of videos with really strong-willed black ladies and their really skinny black husbands that are just broken. Many women get their egos boosted by stripping men of their dignity. That's why women melt down so hard when men choose to stand up for their dignity and walk away with indifference. The MGTOWN Finium, good to have you. Good to have you, brother. Well said. Check out his channel. Happy birthday to Scotty. Again, he's number 40. I remember when I was 40. 11 and a half years ago. Consequences and accountability so lacking today. Correct. That's it. At the end of the day, there are no consequences. There's no accountability. So the behavior continues. Education is free. No need for high school or college. Get a trade. Buy Bitcoin. Scotty and FJT are our channel GigaChads. They will show us the light and the way. Women still love strong men who stay calm and stay on purpose. They respect them. Show weakness and you're done. 100%. And you know what? At the end of my marriage, I showed weakness because I didn't want to fight. She became even more aggressive. But for I would say 80% of my marriage, I always said, no, we're not doing this. We're staying put. I try to be the disciplinarian, the routine. When I say disciplinarian, I try to say, hey, if you hit your brother, you're going into timeout. And I just got tired of dealing with the backlash and nobody on your team. You just shut up at that point. Those black females who have those skinny dumbasses, they know they both deserve each other. I bet Jaron's seen a few of those. Wish you many happy returns for Scotty. Yes, we do. When they get no response, it blows their mind. Yeah, say no and walk away. Shut your mouth. Don't say anything else. Remember, in sales, he who speaks first loses. The friend of mine who married the 300, I have seen her belittle him in front of other people. I wanted to take her outside and remind him that he shouldn't have listened to me and not marry her. Yeah, but you know what? He'll defend her, John, because he defends his ego and pride. What about a woman raised by nomadic Cossacks? Well, that would be interesting. I agree about arguing with women. Just don't do it. They can't see past their own nose, and they simply can't relate to reason. And it says no woman respects men. The only time they respect him was when the man stands firm. But the majority of women today don't respect men. Right? CGA calls them number 18 when you see them walking down the street. He's got. I listened to a stream with CGA the other day. I haven't listened to him probably for a year. He's just got too much content. The only way to stand against them is no marriage and no cohabitation. Well said. Well said. That's my man. That's my man. What are some great movies where men can get away from society and great things? Jeremiah Johnson. Watch some survival films. Go watch Peter Fonda. What's Easy Rider? That's a good one. And Do Great Things. There you go. Easy Rider, Peter Fonda. That's back in the 70s, late 60s. Paul Newman, one of my favorite actors. Cool Hand Luke. I got a fat black female and her skinny dummy who are married. He defends his behemoth and got knocked up against his head. No sympathy. Yeah, sometimes you just have to say, you know what, you're screwed. Marriage now ties our hands to being respected as men. Makes married life unworkable for any self-respecting man. It's very difficult. Well said, Peter. Brandon Trueblood driving his It's 18 Wheeler. Good to see you, brother. Merry Christmas to you. Brandon will probably be streaming Christmas as well. Check his channel out. All men need to understand there are live streams going on every single day, morning, noon, and night. Brandon is one of them. My ex got argumentative at the end. My kids would come up to me and complain, why is mommy always angry? I called her out on it. She was too far gone to stop the nonsense. Now she is alone and lonely. It's yeah. Again, decisions have consequences. Consequences have reality. Women subconsciously respect masculinity. That's why they tell men it's toxic, and then they try to claim it for themselves. Well said, Jason. Well said. Watch the documentary of Dick Pronecki built a cabin in Alaska by himself. I got to check that out. Another one, Into the Wild. Even though the kids have lived, I thought that was a good movie. Guy decides he wants to take life into his own hands. Guess what? Women are called witch in my place for driving men to self-deletion. What are they called in your place? Instigators, maybe. I still can't respect men who sit pathetically in the passenger seat. They don't realize, ooh, I love the fact that you said that. I never allowed my woman to drive. When I got my vasectomy, I drove myself to the hospital and drove myself back. Wouldn't even let her. She goes, I'll drive you. Nope. Well said, Peter. Men that drive in the passenger side and they're married are the biggest simps. And when they bring up open relationships and expect you to stick around, proves no respect. No, absolutely. You can't leave her because she got good donut and she likes his banana and they make good breakfast. It'd be fun to hang out with Jerron Markel in Brooklyn. I've noticed there's a point of no return if a woman decides to disrespect and shame a man. It doesn't matter what you say or do if she puts you in that category in her mind. Couldn't agree more, brother. Michael Reitel is in the chat. I will check Damned River. Saw the trailer. Oh, Damned River was good. I liked it. Yeah, check that out. I think women relive their childhood. My ex's childhood was bad and her parents divorced. I have said to her, you just couldn't stop and realize you were putting the kids in your childhood. I think so too. John. Passenger side is a purse carrier. How about the guys that carry the bag for the ladies? I remember I went on a date with a gal about 7 years ago. It was like one of my very first and we hung out for a while. And we pulled up to the gas station and it was cold. And we pull up to the gas station. She's like, will you get here's my credit card, get out and pump my gas. And I said, do it yourself. She's like, you're not going to pump my gas? No, do it yourself. It's not my car. And she hung out with me until I told her to beat it. There you go. Wasn't being a jerk. It's like, why are you telling me to do it? And at one time she wanted me to hold her purse. I said, hold your own damn purse. Right? Suzanne says, you're 100% correct. Suzanne knows a thing or two. Brad, are you pimping any girls now? I don't kiss and tell, Wolf King, but I'm not a monk. We have 35 people watching and 20 likes. That's all right. I get lazy too. Where is Scotty? Scotty, I think you're in Hawaii. Would you be in Hawaii? That building looks like it's Hawaii. Rad, I'm going to buy 20 pounds of ribeye and I will carve out the bone and use it in a soup. Going to make one. Ooh, that sounds good. Oh, by the way, 2 days ago, Wednesday, I did my fast. I made it to 69 hours and 45 minutes. I almost hit 72. My blood glucose sugar was way low. I would feel like shit literally for 9 hours, and I just couldn't make the 72. I could have, but I was getting into some dangerous territory. And I've done 96s before, so for some reason, and I was electrolyted up with element electrolytes, and my body was telling me I got to eat. But lost 9 pounds, probably 4 pounds and 5 pounds being water weight. I'm still in ketosis, feeling great. And there you go. Rad, you said you've been to Italy before? No, never been. I'm looking to get some land, Sicily. That's John Boston. I hear it's very cheap and they take Bitcoin. John Boston would know more. I've never been to Europe. I like to go certain countries, but typically Central, South America, and the Caribbean. I'm not the type of guy to hold a purse. Good for you. How humiliating. No man should hold or carry her purse. Only simps do that. Well said, Lisa. Teach your boys that. And I'm sure you have. In the Caribbean, why does that look like Hawaii for some reason? Just because of, but maybe they've got the same sort of structure of homes with the slats between the windows. So, but it looks beautiful. St. Martin, so glad you got out there. I figured you'd go to Hawaii since you're in Oregon, be closer. But that must have been a trip. Did you fly through Atlanta or Dallas or somewhere? But it looks great. That's a man going his own way. Made a video about went on his own, met a lot of people, enjoying life, walking on the beach, saving up. I guarantee if he took a lady, he wouldn't be that happy. My family's from Abruzzo. I've been thinking I should go live on my grandparents' land that has been in the family for centuries. The new part of the house was built in 1793. Well, John, once you're there, we will visit you. Just maintain your BMI. You'll be fine. Thank you for that. Hell yeah, brother. I've been doing 24-hour fast for a week. Hopefully this summer or spring we'll do 3-day fast. I'm about 5 pounds from my my ideal weight, but sometimes I like to have me some Chipotle. My family's about 1.5 miles east of Rome. I'd love to go there. Lou Mantuk, where are you from? Oofy Doofy will never even think about daring to inquire her body count with a hint of shame behind it. He will keep a smile on his face like a good boy and cry like a baby if she threatens to leave. Yeah, there's a lot of guys like that, brother. Where are you from? Good to have you in the chat. Caribbean is nice. I've been to Aruba, Bonaire, and Curacao, the Lower Antilles. We're going to do a trip to Mexico because we know Scotty likes that area. Timmy Kramer. Be fun. I went through Miami. Actually, it was probably around a 10-hour overall flight. I will definitely get to Hawaii since I've never been. Well, hey, St. Martin sounds cool too. I had a buddy that owned a bar. What was it called? You might have gone to. It's called the Island Bar or something. He owned it for like 10 years. And he lived in Oregon. He lived off Cornell. He'd go there 3 months out of the year and have some manager run it. I wonder why Bozos doesn't marry his girlfriend. I wonder why. Well, I mean, think about it. He's got enough money to have like 10 different prenups. He's probably realized that once she gets the carrot, it turns on its side. I used to go to Salmona and get porchetta from the porchetta truck that is roasted stuffed pig. My dad and his brothers used to hunt wild pigs and have pig roast. Italy you know what sounds cool about Italy? Riding a Vespa, skinny streets, beautiful buildings, bread, pasta, cheese, red wine flowing. Just sounds magical. Maybe that's the simp in me. I just want to get a second citizenship in another country because America at 2030 won't be great to live. Well, we're seeing a downfall. I mean, literally, I think one of the greatest downfalls of this country has been the disrespect between the sexes. There's no strength anymore. And the guy that's running on a strong platform who was denied his win a few years back, they don't like it because he is not simping. Well said, Geron Markel. Confetti. Confetti is Italian. Interesting. Jordan Almond's confetti was started there. Interesting. Haiti has great bread. I've never been to Haiti. It sounds cool, but it sounds really effing dangerous too. Mauritius is a good country to live in. No violence. We got to plan a trip. I wanted to do something a few years back in Vegas, but it didn't turn out. Rad, Italy, where my family is from, is very rustic. You cannot be a man and be a simp. If you are a mamon. Those are the 40-year-old men living with mom and dad. In Spanish, in Venezuela, there's a term called mamon, and it means simp, like puss. Wuss. Interesting that it's the same Italian. A lot of recent immigrants in the EU, it may not look like the movies now. That's what they're saying. They say France has literally become whacked in terms of their population now. I don't think I'd go to Haiti. We either submit or get more of what's happening, but my knees hurt. Yep. Although women today are extremely disrespectful, we really are meant to work and grow together. The problem is 98% of women aren't raised to respect and follow their men. That is exactly 100% correct. The disrespect starts in childhood, seeing mommy and daddy. If a mother does not respect the father or his role as raising kids, those kids will be raised with helmets and entitled, and the cycle will continue. And unfortunately, that is the cycle we're in now. People say, Rad, do you think it's going to change? Hell no. No. The best thing a man can do is watch it. Get away from it and just watch it, and just thank your lucky stars every night that you understood this way of living, that you don't have to go through it anymore. No rats in 80, they ate them all. There's a lot of poverty, that's for sure. I've sent you a video. I've got to check that. I'll check that out this weekend, brother. I'll get back to you. But that is the reality. Women disrespect men. And I think men have caused the problem. Men weren't able to say no. If men decided, no, we're not going to pay your OnlyFans. No, we're not going to give you likes and attention. Maybe that would have done something. But men don't think right here. They think down here. A while back, they were selling Italian houses in small towns for like $1. You just have to live there. Tuscany, Italy. Italy sounds fun, but I'd probably stay away from the Vatican. I really want Dubai since it's the only free country, especially for crypto and Bitcoin. That's my dream country to just keep my wealth in. I'd like to go visit Dubai, but man, what the hell is there besides sand and buildings? The food is probably amazing, but I think, well, actually, I think, aren't there parts that are mountainous and valley in Dubai? I could be wrong. Be fun to go check it out because it just seems so damn decadent. And they probably got great breads and meats and so forth. No more TikTok women 30-second validation. It's crazy. I love doing research, red pill research on YouTube shorts and seeing all the women shake their booty and wear hardly anything. And just, it's like, man, that's going to come back. I mean, damage. They're damaged beyond repair. Some chick the other day told me it was a man's job to take out the trash. Please, kind of makes you wonder why she's single. There's a gal that lives in my neighborhood. I think she's probably mid-30s. She's a therapist, go figure. Always looks angry. Why? She's not fulfilling her role. It's as simple as that. Japan is also selling vacant houses to foreigners. I saw a guy do a video on that. He bought a home in Japan for like 10 grand and he lives there. Every millionaire and billionaire of America stays in Dubai. Interesting. Females disrespect men because they can get away with it. They will always be believed. Yeah, that's the world we live in. That's the world we live in, unfortunately. Going to try and get my double citizenship, Rad, Polska and USA. My folks were born in Poland, maybe move to Europe later. That'd be awesome. Having dual citizenship is no joke. Tell them about the pics I sent you about those thoughts that were there. These girls don't even respect themselves, so there's no way they can respect. Oh, yeah. Scotty sent me some 304 pics hanging out in the ocean. I saw that. I see it in Mexico. I see it in Guatemala. It's universal. But yeah, Scotty's doing some sociological research in St. Martin. He's studying the ladies and the thoughts. I'm probably on my own Christmas Day, but it will be long, nag-free disrespect. I will do what the heck I want. Feel sorry for married men trapped with that nonsense. And then they have to go to their stupid in-laws. That's the worst. I will be without my kids on Christmas Day. We're going to do Christmas Eve. I'm fine with that. Christmas morning, to be real, Christmas morning is a lot of pressure on me just to make it awesome. And I have a great Christmas breakfast, open presents, do stockings. It was always a pain in the ass for me to do it single. That's when I miss the ex-wife. She did a great job there. Dubai is an enforced social order that women jailed for yelling. Interesting, Trobe. SCE, my master wrench. Rad's twerking videos are going to go back to haunt him. They probably will, brother. Good to see you. The angry Halloween mask, faces everywhere. You can tell just by looking at a lady's face if she's what she's like. You can look at the eyes. You can look at the frozen face. You'll figure it out. Women that are nice, women that are worth your time, majority that are in the 1 to 2, have a believable and realistic smile. You can tell. But this is not a dating channel. That van life is popular out west, Road to Freedom. I think van life is great. I could do it. I lived in small shacks in Venezuela. I had no problem. Loved it. Loved the adventure. And, you know, if you need a building, go get a hotel. But I think the mobility of a van life, if to get a decent van like the Rev, build out a situation, you have, you know, makeshift toilet, you've got heat in it for if you're in the cold. I won't be in the cold in a van life, of course. Have water. I think it would be an amazing event. And you're mobile. You're free. You're probably more free than anything. I'm not free living in this house. I'm anchored to my real estate taxes, to utilities, to homeowner fees, to you name it. Before the Sheikh Mohammed, it was just desert, and the Sheikh built a city, and it looks very futuristic. Player game 1. Interesting. Never been. Sociological research. That's what you're doing out there, Scotty. You know, the other thing is, is it Dubai or Saudi Arabia building some like city that's called is it called the Line, where it's literally 500 miles and they live within it or something like that. Believe all women. That has to be one of the dumbest things ever said. Jason Reed. No joke. The juice ain't worth the squeeze, says Road to Freedom. The amount of money women spend at Christmas finally kills many marriages. The January divorce phenomenon. I read a statistic, Peter, that families are still paying off 2021 Christmas bills in 2023. So you're not mistaken there. The crossed arms and the attitude postures, they've been to Karen school. It doesn't end well. It doesn't end well. I think van life is great. I mean, I would have sold my house 2 months ago, but the market turned. There's a house here for sale right next to me. But I think 2024 is going to be the best time to sell. The interest rates are dropping now. They're probably not going to drop to 3%, but if they get, you know, some people are saying 5%, that'll push it. I'll be able to sell it and eventually move forward. The Palm Jemariah in Dubai. Interesting. I'll have to check that out. Dubai, the turban-headed sheiks crap on the Insta hookers. I heard about that. They fly these gals out and do really weird things. Lisa says, girls lie too. Do not believe all women. Yeah. I mean, men lie too, but I think that women lie more, and I think that their programming, I mean, I could be wrong, but their programming allows them to get away with it, or the men programming. I don't know. Mysterio from Winnipeg, you take your time selling your house. No rush. Yeah, I have no rush. And you know what? I'm fine that I didn't move out now, because it's my last son's first year in college, and it's good to have him. He's staying with me this week. Next week he'll be with his mom. So it's good to see him. All these women in 40s, 50s getting divorced are mostly foolish, but I have great fun with the hot ones and no commitment. We men win in the end. Just stay in shape and know how to talk to them. There's nothing wrong in my world with that statement. Men lie the most, female tell the biggest lies. There you go. There you go. Perfect example of girls lie too. I am fine. My current lady friend told me not to trust women. They lie. It's funny when a woman says don't trust women. I don't trust any ladies. No. I'm all matter of fact logistics. That's all I'm about. Actions. I don't believe anything they say. And listen to like 1% of what they say. My current lady friend told me not to trust women. They lie. Wolf King, attaboy. This house is not the house the kids grew up with. This is your house. Yeah, well said, brother. Peace, quiet, freedom. I've heard a lot of older guys tell me to take it easy. Just sit back and watch it. I mean, if you, do an experiment. Some of these guys are like, once I learn the red pill and learn not to be abusive, I'll get back in a relationship and I'll bring the red pill suitcase with me and I'll put my frame down. I'll make it happen. Yeah, see how long that lasts. Try the experiment. Go back to it and then tell us. It's how many red pill guys have gone and done it again and come back and said, don't take my word for it. Made some good profits in the market, says FJT. Today's a good day. I didn't have to use my AK. FJT laying it down in Chinatown. Another Giga Chad like Scotty. Good to see you, brother. Women understand women and they hate each other. Couldn't agree more. The majority, 98%. Simping is the root of everything that will destroy a man. Couldn't agree more, Peter. Projects, AZ, Rad. Company of good men in the know. Good to have you, brother. I trust myself and actions speak louder than words. Isn't that funny? I agree with that statement. Women crying, men, what's wrong? Women, nothing. They just want attention. A guy's lie is, I'm at Ricky's house. I just came from the store versus a female's lies. I'm celibate. You're the daddy. Well said, Jerome Markel. There is one dating roach today posting some shit about sabotaging her natural hypergamy, so she stays. The dude's whacked. Any dating coach is an idiot today. They have terms like infield and game and receipts. I mean, come on. The only thing you have to say is no and tell them they got something in their teeth. Problem with parents is that a lot of them are broke. They have broke mindset and they teach their mindset to their kids who end up broke too. That's why my best father is a millionaire. Well said, brother. Well said. A lot of broke people. Why? You don't have to spend money to make kids happy. FJT is delusional. All men have to live their lives for themselves. Well said, Mysterio. Thanks for being here. But that's it, guys. I'm going to cut it off today. I'm almost to 18 hours of my fast. I'm going to go have me a sody pop. As you know, I like Diet Mountain Dew. Yes, I know there's aspartame. Yes, I know there's chemicals, but moderation in all things. I appreciate your free content. I've learned a lot from you, especially older man. Road to Freedom, good to have you. The reality is these men in the chat that you're talking to that are chatting today are exceptional men. And every man has a story, and every man can learn from each man. It's really that simple. But we appreciate you being here. I told a woman recently I'm not buying her anything for Christmas. She was shocked, but she loves my purpose. Good for you. Good for you. SCE is delusional too. Because when shite hits the fan, they won't call feminazis, they will call masculinity. Flex your masculinity, guys. Merry Christmas to you, Lisa, and to everybody in the chat. I will enjoy my Mountain Dew. We're all hey, eventually in 50 years from now, we're not going to be around. I don't want to live past 100. That sounds, I'm going to another room in the Matrix. Arvero, good to see you. David Castro, good to see you. You guys have a great day and have a great Christmas weekend. Rebel against defeat, chase excellence, masculinity, and of course, men first.